Amit K. That rush when you see a notification from Molly's new video. Thank you, Amit. Parker Das. Love the video. It's a good balance between an informative piece and an opinion piece. Though perhaps it's a little late to make a video discussing this. I can't wait for Tony to fight the winner of Khabib and Dustin so we can have a 10-hour video about the entire narrative. Yeah, the timing of this video is a little off, I'll admit that. I had intended it to go up before the Khabib-Dustin fight, but I just couldn't get to it, so. Matthew Vosper, you're the best, Molly. Well, thank you very much, Matthew. Shawnee C, awesome video as usual. Everything you do that features Dagestan blows my mind. As nations, Dagestan and Ireland have one thing in common. They've both been subject to two empires, Russia and Britain. As Ireland has found peace and prosperity, perhaps it has softened somewhat with Western decadence. Well, I mean, compared to somewhere like Dagestan, I'd imagine it has. You mentioned in a previous video that there's a Spartan training regimen in Dagestan. Culturally, they're kind of similar too. Classical Spartans were also incredibly conservative and religious. They even share the respect your elder rule. Oh, is that a shot at McGregor? One of the funny things to come out of that recent story, actually, was that as it turns out, the old man was actually 49 at the time of the attack. So apparently he wasn't too happy with the whole world calling him a fucking old man. When I heard that, I was like, 49? Jesus Christ, that guy must never leave the fucking bar. You know, maybe Conor can make it up to him by putting him on the McGregor fast, even the McGregor detox. It's unbelievable. 49, man. It's just, Jesus Christ. I mean, what the fuck is that? Smoking? Booze? I saw someone comment and say, I can't believe he's hitting a 50-year-old. And I was like, 50? That guy's at least 80 years old. I mean, for fuck's sake, man. He needs to get out of that bar and start going for walks, practice some meditation, take up some fucking yoga. 49, man. Jesus Christ. Anyway, thankfully, Dagestanis aren't practicing eugenics or slavery, though. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Hey, great comment, Shawnee C. Jahanzib Habib. Awesome video. The cultural imbalance between the two simply exemplifies the difference in personalities and behavioral traits we see. One thing is for certain. The pool of knowledge Khabib gains from being at AKA with notable champs such as DC, Rockhold, and Cain Velasquez sees him excel in areas that are unprecedented to McGregor. I believe this key factor propels him into an area where the tried and tested formula that AKA instills in their fighters will always allow him to surpass McGregor. You know, that's a good point. I want to look at this subject in a separate video, actually. You know, Conor kind of reminds me of BJ Penn. They were both prodigies who dominated to a point, but they both stayed in camps where they were head and shoulders above their sparring partners. I mean, Khabib trains with some of the best fighters in the fucking world, and there's always champions in the camp. While Conor spars with, you know, Artem Lobov. I mean, I know he occasionally brings people in, but he just doesn't have the people around him like Khabib has. The looming question of Tony Ferguson is not a major concern to Khabib. He's had to prepare for the guy 4 or 5 times. Well, I don't know about that. I mean, to be fair, Tony has prepared for Khabib 4 times too. And he is a nightmare fight for anyone. Guy just does not lose. And he will fight to the fucking death. So, you know, I think that is a looming question for Khabib. The scary thing is, Khabib's skill set and striking ability have improved considerably over the last year. The only chink in Khabib's armor is himself. Fueled by victory after victory, how much can he learn from training if nobody has presented a challenge to the skill set he illustrates in the octagon? Well, you know, as you said yourself, Khabib has continued to improve. And he's not planning to have a long career. He's already talking about 2 or 3 more fights. And those 2 or 3 fights could be the greatest part of his legacy. They probably will be. It's Tony, GSP, maybe a McGregor rematch. So I'd imagine motivation to continue evolving, it won't be an issue for him. But, you know, we'll see. Connor Heldman, amazing video. Well, thanks very much. The cultural difference reminds me of Wilder versus Fury. Not in terms of the culture crossing over from fighter to fighter, but in terms of both fighters growing up in much different situations. Like Khabib growing up in a strict family where his main focus was wrestling, and Conor was a kid growing up in Ireland with self-admitted anger issues, playing other sports like soccer. In comparison, in the Wilder-Fury situation, Tyson grew up as fighting royalty, as his family was known for boxing and bare-knuckle bricking. I like that phrase. Bare knuckle bricking. Whereas Wilder grew up dreaming of going pro in other sports like football and basketball, until finding a home in boxing. They both climbed their way up to the top and met each other up there. The only difference I see between the two is that Conor versus Khabib left us with a definitive end to the beef. I mean, yes, it absolutely did. The judges fucked Fury in my view. Nick Ferreira, brilliant stuff, riveting. Thanks a lot, Nick. Here's an interesting comment on the perception of the fight from someone who has lived in both the Middle East and in Ireland. Ali Yusuf. I remember talking to a group of people in the Middle East about this fight. To my surprise, many of them did not support Khabib due to his conservatism. This is very significant in my opinion, as it displayed an inner conflict within the Muslim world. Liberal-minded Muslims like myself are growing in numbers and influence in the Middle East, and many of us found ourselves rooting for Conor. I was fully in support of Khabib, not due to identity or religious affiliation. Most of my close friends weren't. My point is, though this fight definitely represented an immensely entertaining clash of two cultures, it also represented an inner conflict in both those different cultures. I live in Ireland 9 months of the year, and I also found that many rabid Conor fans rooted against him in this one, due to his antics and strong verbal attacks. Both figures kindled an inner societal conflict as well as a global one. That's how authoritative these personalities are. It was immensely entertaining to witness. Now, that's a great fucking comment. Very informative. And so true. You know, most of my friends are big McGregor fans. And while they were rooting for Conor in this one, it was much more reluctantly than any of his previous fights. So yeah, I agree with your comment. Very interesting. Brian Suarez. Never thought that the place I would get a deeper perspective of Middle Eastern culture would be through MMA. Great post, keep it up. Yeah, it was a very good comment. Ali Yusuf, the MMA community is truly one of mutual respect. It's so rich with perspectives and informed opinions. I mean, this channel alone is proof. Well, thank you very much, Ali. You get the odd dickhead here and there. But there is statistical insignificance. Either that or I simply follow the right people. Thank you, by the way, I appreciate it. Yeah, I have to say, I find the MMA community very, very good. I mean, there are some parts of YouTube that are just fucking bloodbaths, pools of negativity. I'm happy I'm not throwing videos into that kind of shitstorm. Jesse Merle. Holy fuck, if I watched that video a week before the fight, I wouldn't have slept for 7 days leading into it. Yeah, I mean, what a fucking shame I didn't finish this series before Dustin versus Khabib. You know, the final episode would have been a brilliant promotional video for Khabib. It's a real missed opportunity there, unfortunately. Anyway, I'm already working on that and something on Nate Diaz. They should go up soon. So thanks a lot for the feedback. Very good feedback for this one.